friends of the pod. Welcome. Here's another episode of Nobody Asked Us with Des and Kara, presented by
Brooks Running.
How was that? Welcome to New York.
So great. Welcome to New York. You got in today.
It's been waiting for you.
It has. In true Taylor Swift fashion, she could see the future and know that we were going to be besties, and you know her.
Did you see, is it Sherry Hawkins? Is that Shari? I always get that on Shari. Did you see her Halloween costume?
Is she Taylor?
Yeah, it was like phenomenal. The amount of prep, and I've never put that much into a Halloween costume in my life, and I was like,
clearly,
oh,
look at our costumes.
Yeah. Look it up. If you haven't looked it up, look it up.
That's awesome. Yeah. So you got in today.
I did. I took a 6:20 flight out of Traverse City. So I left the house. Well, I was up at 4:15. Drove the hour in the rain. Got on the flight. Hung out in Detroit, and then flew in. Took a nap, and then made my way down here. So it's been a busy day. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good day. I also flew in today.
What was your schedule like?
It wasn't that exciting. I got up at 5 and ran on my treadmill because I train like I'm training for something. Even though I'm not.
Wait, are you doing the Abbott Dash?
I'm not. I'm calling it.
Okay. Oh, that's fun.
And then I left my house at 7:30 and took my flight here and, studied on the plane.
Nice and direct.
Yep, nice and direct. It was good. So.
That's great.
I haven't seen you since, I have seen you over the computer.
Yeah.
When we did our Chicago recap episode, where I apologized for all the F-bombs, but they needed to be said.
No
but
apologies.
What have you been up to since then?
Just a little bit of training. I hunkered down, got serious about it, and I was like, oh, these marathon things are serious business. People go fast. I should probably train a little bit more. So I got to work on that. No, it was good. It was a fun last couple weeks. I think when I'm not traveling, that's always a little bit easier, and I kind of settle into the rhythm. Fall running is just spectacular.
The best.
It's the best. So that was good. I think I had about 3 weeks where I liked my splits. I was like, okay, I can still do this. Maybe I got a chance. I would love 3 more weeks, but I was saying earlier, no one would accommodate that. Called it in. They were like, no, we cannot change the date of the race. So here we are. But yeah, I think we'll see. We'll have some fun, and then I think it'll be good springboard for the next one.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm gonna hurt.
I think you're gonna surprise yourself.
I'm gonna hurt. So
I think you're gonna surprise yourself in the race. You will not be able to walk on Monday. 0%
chance. Yeah.
She's human after all.
How many people have run this course before? Oh, come on. That's pretty good. Any first timers? First time marathoners or first time New Yorkers? New York. Okay. Any first time marathoners? Why? Did anybody warn you? No, it's going to be awesome. We're going to have fun. We're going to give you all the tips and tricks. Everyone here is super knowledgeable, clearly. So you're going to be ready after this. Good thing you came tonight.
Yeah. You're going to be fine. This is my first marathon, actually. And it went just fine.
Yeah. It was a little better than fine. Was that your lifetime PR? Boston.
I ran a little faster in Boston, but yeah. 2008.
Course-wise, which one's tougher?
New York. Yeah. I'm not going to lie. It's not an easy run. But, I ran it, and I was fortunate enough to talk with Paula Radcliffe a little bit beforehand. That was when she was in her heyday, and she was going for her 3rd title here. And she was, the couple nights before, she was like, everyone thinks you can't negative split in New York, and you can. And she was like, I'm changing my race strategy. That's what she told me. And she did. And therefore, so did I, which was a nice way to run it.
Oh, yeah. Negative split is a much nicer way to do it. But everything that second, after 15, you're just like, what did I sign up for? No. The crowds are so good here. I mean, obviously they are in Boston too, but the crowds are so good. The energy is so good. And I remember when I was running, it was my first marathon. Everything's kind of falling apart. You're kind of in no man's land. I had never actually run 26 miles before. Everything's starting to hurt. And I thought oh man, I'm hurting. I want to be done, but I couldn't because everywhere I looked, there was 4 deep people. It's I can't stop now. How embarrassing,
I'm glad I finished.
Yeah, that worked out all right.
It worked out all right.
Third place?
Third place, yeah.
Little medal. That's good thing you got it done.
It was okay.
I do think we should go into the course a little bit and just kind of talk about moments that have been fun out here, and then places for, you know, the folks to kind of pick things up, or just a little heads up or tips and tricks. We can do that. But I want to just, before we get too far along, I want to talk about New York in general. This is great because it's Halloween. Super fun. I live in Charlevoix. I see like 4,000 people, like that's our town. So this is crazy when I get here. I was driving over and I sent you a picture and I was like, this is a fun game. It's like, is this Halloween or is this like New York fashion? So good. When you guys are out, when you go home, when you're walking home, just try to pick it out. Take photos. We could start a hashtag and then just like New York or Halloween. New York fashion or Halloween.
It was too hard to tell. On the picture you sent, I was like, I don't know. I can't make a call.
And it's awesome. I love it. It was great.
Yes, this is a great city. I was actually born here.
Great.
Yeah. Which is funny because I left when I was 4 and people are always like, what's your favorite part of New York? And I'm like, I don't know. But I am proud to be born here.
Just say you love it all.
I love it all, especially Queens, because that's where I was born.
There you go.
See, I'm like, those are my people. I've been there once since I was born. But hey, you know, Taylor Swift wrote a song about me, so welcome to New York.
I like it.
But yeah, no, the city is great. The energy is great. And so, yeah, I mean, the course is definitely a different course, as you guys all know. You've run it. What are your like basic things that make New York unique to you?
I mean, there's a ton. This course for me is like this puzzle I cannot solve, I think. And I think that's why I keep coming back, which is kind of just speaks to how twisted we are. We're like, I can't figure it out. I need to keep like banging my head against the wall. And so here I am again trying to figure out how to run different sections differently. But the crowds are amazing. I love that it's the 5 boroughs, and so it kind of is naturally broken up into these, you know, little sections that you can kind of break down the race. Who in here, where's my 5 beers, 5 boroughs, folks? Yeah, there we go. So that's another way to break the course down, if that were to be interesting to you. That is maybe a retirement project for me one day, but not yet. So not this Sunday.
Not yet.
I'm sure Sam would love that. If I'm standing in line, I'm just cracking a beer.
I'm sure. Be like, thanks, Des. Yeah. And there goes your appearance fee.
Yeah.
I really love the bridges.
Yeah.
They're difficult, but I like the silence of it. I like hearing everyone around you, hearing the breathing. I think it's one of the things that makes it really unique.
I always do this at the start because it's just the most unique start, and you're absolutely right about the bridges, but like I always really appreciate the view. You know, it's like one of these rare moments where you get to have that view and be on the bridge. I always say that, and it was like, when are you ever going to get to be walking on the Queensboro or running on the Queensboro? And I always say that beforehand, and last year I was driving back and my Uber broke down on the Queensboro. I was like, God damn. I was like walking, he's like, can you get in the cab up there? And I had to walk on it, and I was like, this is stupid. So really appreciate it that they stop traffic for you to get to do that. Like, just enjoy that. It's actually really awesome.
It is awesome.
All right, what else? What else do you like? Start the cannon, not a gun. Is that interesting? Do you like Frank Sinatra? What do you think about that?
I mean, I like it. I'm like, give me all the culture, give me all the funness. You know, one of the things that, this is how my brain works, I'm sorry. One of the things I'm worried about the LA Olympics is that what is our culture? Because at the closing ceremonies, Tom Cruise was like flying in. I'm like, is that American culture? So I like that New York has its culture, right? It's gonna play Frank Sinatra. We're gonna have that canon. We're gonna run over bridges. We're gonna go through all the boroughs. And there's gonna be a lot of people out there. And it's a part of their Sunday. It's a part of their year. I like it. I'm here for it. That's good culture.
100%. No, I think it's great. Yeah. I would say, okay, I'll give a tip for getting started. I sent out an email this week. It was really long. I'm coaching one person, and I was like, I'm so nervous for him. And then I wrote it, and it was really long, and I was like, this can't just be for one person. So I just found random people that were running it, and I was like, hey, you could use a copy. You could use a copy. You could use a copy. So, but one of the things they said in there is like the first 2 miles, you go up, that's the Verrazano is like one of the biggest hills on the course. Yeah. So like you can start your watch, but it's a warm-up mile, right? Don't even worry about it. Find your space, find your breathing pattern, look at the view. Don't look at your watch. Just like get warmed up. unless you're going too hard, then, like take a deep breath and just enjoy the view. You're going to hit the downhill, obviously. That's going to get your legs spinning. It's going to help with the warm-up. Don't even think about your watch until you hit right around mile 3. That's when the splits will start making sense. And then if you really start looking at your watch then, it's only a 23-mile race. So it's like just to your advantage. 3-mile warm-up, don't think about it, and then lock in when you get to mile 3.
That is really good advice because I didn't know any of this the first time I ran here, and there was a lot of talk about, it was my debut, and Dina Castor had debuted here, and she had the American debut record, and she had the American course record here. And there was a lot of talk of would I be able to beat that. And I remember the first split of the first mile was like 6:35, and I was like, oh, pressure's off, But I still got it by a minute.
Negative
so
split.
So the splits don't make sense.
Negative split.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you go out slow enough, you can negative split. On that first mile, you can put like 2 minutes right there.
Add a few minutes padded in that first mile, and you're golden.
Yeah. All right, you're going through the first section of the course. What do you remember? What was interesting in your first race here? And you ran it a couple times. How many times did you do New
I only
York?
ran it twice. I ran it in 2008, and I came back in 2014. That was a really windy year. You were in the race that year.
Very windy.
I will say that I was stunned the first time I ran here, where we ran through a neighborhood and people were just walking across the street. And I was running behind Paula Radcliffe, and she almost hit someone, and this person did not even flinch. It was like, you guys are doing your thing, I'm doing my thing. I was stunned.
Yeah, well, now, did you hear the news that jaywalking is no longer illegal here? Breaking.
Look out.
Yeah, so watch out is what I'm saying. Yeah, that's unique. Definitely wouldn't happen in Boston.
No, I remember thinking, I have to remember that. I have to remember and tell Adam about that when I'm done. Yeah. But yeah, I think I was just, the way it rolls through the neighborhoods, you're out on the concrete, right? There are parts where you feel really small, but then there are also parts where it does feel a little bit more intimate. I mean, Boston feels like an intimate marathon. You're running mostly through neighborhoods, and it just feels more intimate. But I think one of the things that shocked me here is I came in around the course ahead of time, and I thought it was going to feel really daunting and scary the whole time, and it didn't feel that way the whole time. There were parts that were intimate and felt like a neighborhood run.
Yeah, I think it's actually fascinating too with all the restaurants that have moved kind of onto the street. I remember being on the lead truck a couple times, and you're like, that is so narrow for the elites, like that pack, and how are the masses going to fit here, through here? It's pretty wild. So I can see that. And then you do have your obviously open stretches where you can find your space and let it rip.
And I think one of the things that's challenging about New York too is that there are so many turns. The surface changes a lot. It's not, like Boston, you can kind of get in a rhythm until you have to turn, right? I think here it's a little bit more challenging, which I like it. I like the challenge. I like the hardness. I like the things that throw people off their game. Threw me off in 2014. But, I like it. It's different. It's challenging in a different way.
It reminds me, and you can tell me if you agree with this or not, but it reminds me of cross country. Yes. Way more cross country than any other marathon.
I love that analogy so much.
Makes you want to come back,
love cross country. Yeah, no. No, I don't think so.
5K? Some hay bales?
Since we lost the bet, for those of you that were following along the bet, I have to run a half marathon, and I'm signed up.
I like that you negotiated that down, because you were signed up for a full, sweetie. She was like a full.
I have good negotiating skills. I did negotiate my way down to a half, but anyway, I'm running a half marathon now. Yeah.
Yeah, where? Which one? Tell us more.
I'm kind of scared to say it out loud because it makes it super real.
Do you want to wait? You can do it on the pod later.
It's not New York City. It's not Brooklyn. Oh my God, this is so disappointing. It's not in New York.
It's not in New York.
It's in Atlanta.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's great.
So this is totally deviating away from our marathon talk, but I gotta train, okay? I have to run a half marathon, which I haven't run 13 miles since my diagnosis. So that's a challenge. Then my friend, CB, who I'm running with, she wants to run 6:30s. That's not jogging.
Of course she does.
So, I have to train. I gotta have to train. And then my child ran a 20-minute run in gym, stopped at 12 and a half laps and stopped his watch, and then took a picture of his watch in school and sent it to me with a little curse word that said, "Yeah, I did it."
Dang.
And he lowered the current, not the overall, people. Adam ran 13:10. I ran 14:55.
There a while.
It is the current Goucher PR, and he lowered it. So now I'm also training for that.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's like a good tune-up, whichever way you go.
Guys, you have to bury your children while you can. It's over. It's over in just a few more months, so I have to just stick it to him one more time.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But yeah, so I know you're training for New York and like running big things, but like I'm doing a half.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I will go out. I'll make a sign. We could do. We could get sign ideas. Pitch them. Put them on the comments. I'll stand out there with it. I held one at the Bayshore Marathon once. It said like, I trained forever to hold this sign. Like, hurry up! I trained forever. Just was standing out there. It was great.
Do you see signs when you're out there running? Do you hear people? Okay, first, do you see signs? Do you see signs?
It's a loaded question. There was a really great one at the trials. Nobody asked us. Intro song is a banger. It was a huge sign. And there's someone got a great photo of me like pointing at it. I'm tagged in it. So if you go to my IG and check out my tagged photos, you'll see it and you'll see the sign. That was a good one. At LA, the trials there was like, hurry up, I want to go to the beach. That was funny.
So you do see them?
Sometimes. Yeah. I think there's time for that.
I don't see anything. But do you hear people cheering for you?
Yeah, I waved to you guys in Chicago. So sometimes, and sometimes you don't, right? Go ahead,
Chicago,
tell the story.
She came by, and she lit us up. She like pointed at us and gave us like the pump, and we were so excited. And there are tons of people when we saw her. Then we see her again, and there's no one there. It's just us. And we're like screaming at her, and she doesn't acknowledge us, which is fine. Like, she's in the pain cave. She's like chasing down that American record. She is so focused. But afterwards, she's like, yeah, no, I didn't see you. So I had to send her the video to be like, dude, we were the only ones there.
It's like a pinhole. You're like, I could see that much, and it was getting tight quick.
Yeah, I definitely think it depends on like how you're feeling, right?
Yeah.
What you're hearing and how focused you are. But that's why I started wearing sunglasses in races.
That's smart.
Because I felt bad when there'd be like little kids cheering for me, and I'd be like,
you don't have to give them the finger. I just feel like that. Just going out of your way to be mean.
I don't want to like look over at them and then just like ignore them. So then I started wearing sunglasses, so I just looked like I didn't see anybody, even though I still saw it and heard it.
Do you follow Casey Neistat?
Is he here with Brooks?
Yeah.
Kinda-ish, yeah.
Well, he's got a partnership now, just announced. He's going to, I think, wear the Glycerin Max for the race, which is amazing. And he did a whole video, which if you watched his vlogs back in the day, he has his explanations, the boards, all this stuff. And he did the, like, I can't wave at you out there because it's going to cost me this much time. And I'm, like, on a, razor thin edge if I can break through or not. So I will not be waving to you.
Yeah, no waving allowed.
And I think that's totally fair. I thought it was a great video.
Yeah.
You needed that. You should have beat him to it. But sunglasses.
Sunglasses instead. Yeah.
You guys should be waving, right? A little bit? Some of you gonna wave? A little bit? Who's going for a PR, like just super fit right now, best shape of your life, BQ maybe, maybe not, I don't know.
Des, don't go
Who's
there.
ready? Who's ready for a big PR day? Nobody? No one wants to commit. She is. There we go. I'm not going to make you do anything. There we go. You haven't run one. You're going to get a PR. All right. So no waving for you guys. The rest of you, it's your parade. All right. Toughest spot on the course. When do you think? I mean, I think the first real challenge in my opinion is Queensboro, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's where things get real and you start making important decisions. Stuff happens there.
It's a long stretch. It's quiet. You can't run off that adrenaline anymore. And it's kind of a gut check moment, I think.
It's super frustrating because you think that and then you get off the bridge and you hit, what is it, first?
Oh, God.
And you're like, yes!
You're like, never mind, I feel amazing.
I'm back, baby! Right? Like, who's done that? You're like, yeah, this is my moment.
You're like, never mind, I'm good. I am good.
Yeah. And it's like a quarter mile. And then you're like, oh, no. Yeah. Mess that up again. Don't mess that up. That's what I'm telling myself. Don't mess it up
that's like
there.
the one piece of advice people had for me the first time I ran here.
Yeah.
Was like, don't think you're cool at that moment. You're not. They're cheering like that for everybody. Don't waste your race there.
They would say that to Abdi every year. Like, don't go to the lead. And he would go to the lead
every time
year.
you go to the lead, yeah.
It's like,
it's
same mistakes.
too hard not to. It's so fun.
So it's fine. If you mess up a little bit there, it's not a Ricky move.
No, everybody does.
It, but try not to. Then you can come back and be like, guys need to be more professional.
I mean, the park is challenging.
Yeah, I think...
Fifth Ave is a long stretch, right? You're looking up. Mm-hmm. You're going up.
I mean, I think that whole part from 15 on, because I could talk about it. I've been thinking about this a lot, right? Because you're literally like, when you come off Queensboro, you're running the opposite direction of the finish line. And then it's like, okay, well, like, I'm going to cut across. But then you have to do another bridge, right? And what is that, the Bronx?
Is Des pumping you guys up?
I'm just saying.
I feel like we should be a little bit more positive.
Right, so then you're... That's good. I like that. I like where your head's at. This is good. Because I'm going to go through this all later, and I'm going to be like, how do I want to break down each section and, like, stay tough, you know? And I think in my mind, they're really difficult because I know they're going to be really difficult. So what am I going to do? What am I going to tell myself to be tough, even though I know it's difficult? Because it's the guarantee. That's the guarantee. We signed up for this because it's going to get hard. We trained not so it would be easy, but so we would be ready when it gets difficult. So I'm just saying, it's going to be difficult. How are we going to respond?
But that's what makes it special, right? That's why I love, I mean, no shade at fast marathons, but that's why I love these challenging marathons that are, there's a lot more going on than just the 26.2. How are you pacing yourself? How are you handling the mental challenges? You're going to have doubts. I don't care what race you're running. You're going to have doubts. They're going to come. How are you going to handle them? How are you going to reframe that in your mind? That's what makes it amazing.
Absolutely. I think you're right. I'm just trying to get there. I'm trying to get there.
Okay, I have some work with her. I have to pump her up a little bit. We have a little work to do over here, but we have a couple days.
No, this is great. This is great. I'm really good at this, guys. You know what I'm going to do? I have a plan. I'm going to take a shot of ketones. Hey! This is where we insert our sponsor, everyone. I've been practicing with them. I love that. It's brain fuel. I think that's the thing is like mentally, you're like, I feel like I don't have enough in the tank. So I use ketones to be mentally engaged and actually like legitimately, that's exactly how caffeine works in my opinion. Like it's not that the body is out of fuel. It's just that your mind is like, hey, this is not normal. Please slow down. Please stop. And your brain tells you that you're running out of fuel. So I think ketones make a big difference there. And I've been using them. And I recommend you use them. And you can use our discount code. It'll be in the show notes. And your first 6-pack is free. So check that out.
Okay, well, they haven't practiced it, so don't do it on Sunday.
And also those ones back there, if you grab something tonight, actually, I think trying them out in your future races is amazing. If you grab something tonight, some of them have caffeine, so just check what you have. Don't have that tonight and be like, I couldn't go to bed. I was so hyped from that pod.
Yeah, don't do that. No, good plug.
Hey,
good job. Well, I think we kind of want to know what you guys want to hear from us, right? You guys came all the way here on a Thursday night to hear us. On Halloween, you're not dressing up. You're bored with us.
Any costumes? Any costumes?
Oh, let's see.
Oh, I love it.
Hey, ballerina.
That is New York fashion. Stop it. Stop it. I saw that on Carrie Bradshaw. I love it. That's awesome. All right. I'm sorry.
No. That's fine, Des. But don't we want to hear what you guys want to hear?
Yeah, I think we would love to. You want to open this up for some Q&A because I think it's awesome. We chat all the time, but we want to know what you guys are thinking.
You guys have our attention. What do you want to know?
You have. So we have a mic. Clara's going to walk it around. If anyone has questions, if not, we'll just shut it down and go home. Short pod. There we go.
Thank you. You guys have a lot of experience on this course, or at least Des does. So,
I mean, I ran faster than her, but yeah.
Touche. What are your tips if we're feeling really good? It's an ideal day, and we want to try to push and run an aggressive race. And then on the flip side, in the event that it's a tough day, what are your tips for this course?
Well, I think we probably agree on if you're having a good day, you still need to wait, right? Like, I think sometimes as marathoners, we're like, oh, this is the day, this is it. And then it's still 26.2 miles and the race really starts at mile 20. So if you're having your day, still stay within yourself and wait till mile 20. And that's when it's fine to just like go crazy. That's my thought.
Yeah, I think same thing there. It's 20 is the halfway point, right? So you can run that second half as hard as you can, but that starts at 20. And I know the math doesn't add up, but just trust me. When you're out there and you're in that last 6 miles, you'll be like, oh, I see what she was saying. And if it's not your day, I think that's it's going to get hard. That's to be expected. And so for me, it's digging into the reasons that I signed up in the first place and trying to be tough and trying to break it down into manageable segments and just be successful for one segment at a time. And sometimes it's like, get to that water station and take a drink and get some fuel. And then like, if it has to be like, get to that stop sign right there. And then you do it and it's positive. And then you set another goal and it's positive. And instead of thinking like, oh, I have 7 miles to go and I don't think I can finish. That's way too long to be negative. So put yourself in a place where you're having objectives that you can meet and be successful. And then everything it's pretty temporary. Like you're gonna have bad patches, you're gonna have good patches, and nothing lasts forever. So appreciate the good moments, but when there's a tough spot, just know it's like you'll have a good patch rolling around soon, and just be open to that possibility.
And sometimes you just are having a bad day. I hit the wall here in 2014. It's the only marathon I ever hit the wall in because I'm elitist.
We don't have a wall.
Yeah. Jess has never heard of it. Not yet. Anyway. But sometimes you just have to say it's not the day I wanted, but there's still so much to be gained in finishing. So you have to sort of like throw out what you had hoped, and you have to reframe it. And what am I going to learn about myself today, and just keep moving forward? Because I tell you what, I learned way more about myself in that marathon than I did when I nailed it.
What did you learn?
I learned that I was tough. And I learned that I could handle a lot more than I thought. And I also learned that there's a lot more to life than running fast.
Good right answer. What's your favorite Halloween candy?
We were talking about this downstairs, and I'm a little mad at you still. She was hating on candy corn, and I don't understand the discrimination.
I said I would be a candy corn. That's like as good as it gets.
Yeah, because you said no one would eat me.
It's true, though. Most people don't like them.
I just feel like I don't know why it became cool to hate on candy corn. Like, it's a classic. We only see it once a year. I mean, let's just love on it a little bit more. Okay, we have a real question.
So this marathon starts... I don't know.
Oh, yeah, it's got to be in the mic.
Yeah, we'll get hated on.
So this marathon starts later than a lot of other marathons. So do you have any advice or strategy on what to do for nutrition and just the expectation of your body, because it's different?
I mean, I love that it's starting a little bit later. But I think, yes, the fueling part's important. Make sure that you are, you're not just getting up and going straight there. You're going to have some time. So make sure that I'm hoping you're fueling no matter what time your marathon is, but make sure that you're fueling well. Bring a lot of stuff to the start, because you're going to be sitting around and you might start to get hungry because it is later than normal. So just, right? I just think fueling's super important, especially if on a marathon that's a little bit later. Have more food than you would normally have ready.
Yeah, I think just do what you would normally do, but put it 3 hours from the start time. And if that means having a different regimen before you get up, or when you get up to that point, don't overdo it, but know that you need to be eating and fueling, and then take your normal breakfast routine 3 hours out as you normally would. If that means taking it to the start with you, then bring it along. I'm really trying not to make an elitist comment about this.
Do it. Just do it.
No, I love this race because it's when I normally run, and then the daylight savings time, so 10 o'clock is perfect.
I was thinking the exact same thing, but I was like, don't say it. Des will.
I'm not over it. It still stings a little bit. It's slowly fading. This is way better than Chicago, though.
Oh, yeah.
Way better than Chicago.
I'm wondering, Des, are you excited for your battle against Dakota?
Yeah, she's even talking about it. This is real.
I know. I kind of am. I feel like that's going to be the thing when I'm in Central Park. I should just quit. No one would care. I'd be no, age graded, I don't know what those numbers are going to be. Yeah, I'm gonna fight for every second so I can slay her.
Dakota's like the nicest human being too. We're like, get her.
Yeah, she's why it's gonna feel so good. She'll be like, oh, congratulations.
She'll be like, you're the best. I love you. Yeah. She can handle it.
Was there a hand over here?
It was probably the same question.
Same question. Okay. Oh.
Hi. So people always say, like, when you're in a hard spot, remember why you run. And I, at that moment, can literally never remember why I run.
You should try some ketones.
I haven't practiced with those yet. So I'm just wondering if you guys have any suggestions about what I should think about when I'm doing that, because I'm sure, I always am like, why, like literally, why am I doing this? Except I'm just still doing it, right? So I'm wondering like what you think about when you think about that.
Well, sometimes it is just, I'm just going to keep doing it, right? I mean, when I was racing, people would be like, oh, do you think about your baby when it gets going tough? And I'd be like, no. I don't think about him at all, you know? But for me, it would be like, okay, all the training I put in, I'm going to get something out of this day, right? But sometimes you can't even come up with something positive. Look, like one of the most famous quotes for me was like, focus, there's a million things telling you can't. Focus on the one thing telling you can. Sometimes like nothing is actually telling you can't, right? And you just have to keep moving forward. And I think that we've all been in training days where it just went bad, right? And it didn't go well, but we kept moving forward. So you know you can do that. Like the worst thing that happens is you walk for a little bit. That's okay. It's totally allowed. So I just think be prepared. There's always going to be dark moments in a marathon, no matter how well it goes. It's a roller coaster ride, right? But just remember, like, you've been there before and you've proven you can do it. But Des, what is your why?
No, that's interesting. I'm just fascinated by that. Like how much does a race entry cost? Like, you're just like, boom, gone. I don't know why. I'd be thinking about that. Like, how much did this cost? You should do a charity. Get a charity bib. And then.
This is my first New York, so I'm excited to do that, but it still hurts.
Yeah, no, I find that fascinating. I don't know. I would like tough days when you go out and run and you don't want to, and you're like, why did I do that? I mean, those are maybe you didn't answer it, but you still did it when you didn't want to, and you put in the work, and you spent the money and the time and the things you could have been doing with friends and family or whatever it is in the morning with your I don't know what your situation is, but like kids are like, like mom's gone, whatever. Like there's all these sacrifices that every person has, and they're all different. I mean, I'm sure you've sacrificed something. Those are great things to think about. And like those people who've invested in you, and maybe it's not about your why, but maybe it's people who've invested in your training as well, or missed out on time with you, and they're waiting at the finish line, and they're like, I want her to be happy. I want her to feel satisfied because they've contributed as well. So for me, it's like, it's coaches and agents and husband and things like that. So yeah, sometimes it's not about you, it's about other folks as well.
But not my son. It wasn't about him for me.
Was he doing? Sleeping?
He was playing with you, probably.
Yeah, probably. It was way more fun.
All right, this one is for Kara specifically. Since it is Halloween, why did we not get a Samantha outfit?
I'm so jealous of the Samantha outfits out there. I'm not going to lie. Like, I was like, I'm not going to do that. I don't dress up. And then I started seeing them on Instagram. And then someone, I don't know who, someone sent me the best reel of a girl wearing a Samantha outfit, but then her mom telling her she had to wear a coat because it was cold out. And I was like, this is my childhood, indescript. So I know. You know what? I don't dress up. I'm such a party pooper. And so I texted Des the other day, and I'm like, are you going to dress up? Because I don't want to be the person that's like, I'm too cool for Halloween or whatever. She's like, I don't know. I might. So I have a costume here. It is not Samantha. And Des doesn't. But yeah, I don't know. I wish I was Samantha. I don't know. It's really
I need to roll through those texts. I don't think I said that. I think you were like, I really want to dress up.
No, you said, I don't know, maybe.
Oh, okay.
And then I wrote back, well, great, now I have to bring something.
I should have stopped you. I was never planning on it. That Samantha thing, I'm so excited for top 5.
Oh, okay. Thanks for the American Girl humor. Like, nobody got that, but the people that got it, got it.
And then I started seeing it all over as, like, after that pod dropped, and it was, like, my TikTok, my Instagram. There's just, like, all American Girl women.
Yes. I'm actually disappointed in myself because I'm not a dresser-upper, but I did get excited when I saw that. So, lesson learned next year. Next year. Come on, guys.
Nothing? Okay.
Hi. What's in your current shoe rotation from Brooks? Tell us your favorite.
Well, I'm just an everyday runner. So I wear the glycerin a lot, and I wear the adrenaline, and I wear this bad boy, Marshmallow, here and there. Yeah, that's about it for me.
So I'm elitist. You name it, I got it. It's in the rotation. But I had that busted toenail for a little bit, and I had a pair of glycerins, and I was just like, I have so many of these. I just cut out a little spot and let my toe free. So that was cool. Got rid of those for a bit. I have Ghost Max. I have Ghosts. The Glycerin Max are really fun. A lot of training shoes for tempo stuff. Is it the Hyperion Max? That's pretty new. I like that one. And then there's Hyperion Elite, a couple different iterations that everyone should just always keep your eyeballs on the pros' feet because there's fun stuff coming out all the time. Can't even talk about it. I'm so elite.
She's so elite. The Hyperion Max is a fun shoe to run in. It makes me feel fast when I do wear it. You know.
What's that? I can't even talk about it. I don't know. I don't know what I'm allowed to say. Look up World Athletics shoe log, and you'll find some fun treats on there.
Hi. Des, I'm just wondering what keeps you coming back to New York? Like, do you have any specific, like, happy memories or, like, images that you're just, like, so excited when you come back to the city to run the race, since you seem more conscious when you're running than Kara, I guess?
Yeah, I just feel like this is kind of probably backwards, but I feel like I haven't had that day yet, and I really want it. Like, I feel like I've had segments of it where I'm like, oh, I love this part of the course, but this was miserable, or this was fun, and then it got really hard. And so I just haven't figured out this course yet, or really run a race that I'm like, oh, that was everything. It doesn't mean it's a PR, it doesn't mean it's like a really great finishing place. It's just like getting to the finish line and feeling like I've connected all the pieces and got the most out of my training. So I'm still looking for that. But it's such a fun city to be in. I actually really like coming for the half as well. And so I start thinking about, what it would be like to not be here on these weekends. And I'm like, oh, FOMO. Like, no way. I got to keep coming back. And it's just fun. Yeah. And I was actually thinking about, because Halloween, this is amazing. And then we come for St. Patty's Day. And so I don't even have, like, regular New York experiences. I'm like, this is just a party town. These people are crazy. I like it. That's why I'm here.
Can you both of you, tell us about the behind the scenes of what it's like before you get to the start line with your peers? I mean, are you talking to each other? Are you, like, in the zone?
I think that this marathon as an elite is challenging in a different way than some others, because you leave your coaching staff and you leave everybody, all your loved ones. You don't get to go to the start with you. At least that's how it was when I ran here. And so you load the bus way ahead of time, and you have to say goodbye to your spouse, to your loved ones, to your coach, and you ride the bus over. And it's just, most marathons, your coaches and, like, your husband or your whoever can be there with you. So for me, the first time I ever ran it, I started crying on the bus. And Paula Radcliffe actually came over and sat by me and talked to me the whole time. And then when we got there, she said, I'll tell you when it's time to warm up. And so my first experience was really great because I had someone looking out for me, but it could have been a very overwhelming. It was overwhelming, but I had someone that helped me out. But so this race is unique in that way.
Yeah, I think Boston's a little different because you get family and agents and things like that on the bus. But I remember Ryan Hall being like, it's so weird. It's like you're at the hotel, you kiss your loved ones goodbye, and you're like, it's like going to war. You know, like you look all fresh and ready, and then you're like, I'm going to come back in a couple hours just like beat down and haggard. Like you just went to battle. So it's like, it is this really emotional moment. I think there's different kind of groups at the start. I think there's a lot of camaraderie among the Americans. You kind of see training groups team up and warm up together. I think it's generally pretty civil and friendly. I haven't seen a fight break out. I did see a thing with Fred Curley talking about Quincy Wilson, the young kid, and was like, yeah, he shouldn't be in there because like in the call rooms we're talking shit to each other. Yada, yada. I'm like, we don't do that. We're just like, it's
very mellow, a lot of like smiles.
26.2 miles. The competition is hard, but so is the distance and the course and all the other elements. So there's a lot of respect for everyone who's about to go do this really difficult thing. So I think you feel that.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Hey there. Oh, I don't know if this is on. That's good. Okay. Hey, I have a hypothetical question. If you could wave a magic wand and change one thing about the New York City Marathon, whether it's time of year, the course, the crowds, whatever, what would you change and why?
I mean, I wouldn't. I like that the weather's unpredictable. It could be really cold. It could be really windy. It could be warm. I like how hard the course is. I like how it gives you a true glimpse of the city. I like that it's on, as an elitist, that it's on daylight savings weekend, so you get that extra hour sleep. Some things are iconic, and you just don't mess with them.
I would change the footing on the roads. I think that's a city thing in general. If we could make them a little less rugged. I love the course, it's great, but like you're really beat up after this one because that's part of that cross-country element. And I think that's doable. I don't even think I need like government. It's a great question. You like a reporter or something? They just paid first. We're on our way.
How do you guys mentally prepare, though, with all the Ethiopians and the Kenyans, and like, how do you bring yourself to say, maybe I could beat them? I just find it so challenging for the Americans that we're so defeated to begin with in the race.
You got to believe. If you don't believe, who will? And you don't go to, you have to believe. And you have to just, it's not something that you just show up on race day and be like, you know what, I'm going to go get on that podium today. It's every day, day in, day out. Every decision you're making, every workout that goes good or bad, it's thinking about it. It's visualizing. It's just believing that you belong. You have to believe that you belong. Because when the going gets tough, then you're going to talk yourself out of it and they're going to run away with you. I think it is a challenge. It's very difficult. The depth in the world, especially on the women's side, it's getting so hard. But that doesn't matter. Everyone has a body, so you have to believe. You cannot talk yourself out of it, and it has to be real. And you have to think it every single day. I deserve to be here. I belong to be here. I'm going to be with these women.
Yeah, I think, and you have to be willing to have your heart broken because that's part of it. Like buying in, believing, picturing it. Knowing what that moment's going to be like, and if you don't give up on that until the tape is broken, that's a lot to invest. So willing to have your heart broken, and then I think success breeds success. We had a lot of really great runners do amazing things that show Americans did belong. We had Joni and Dina and Meb and Ryan Hall running really well, and then Kara and Shalane and Amy and myself, and so I think we've been in those moments and we've proven it, and we need another moment like that soon, and I think we have the right athletes to do it. They just have to go out there and actually get it done, because that success is going to bring other people along, and they're going, well, why not me?
And we have to start racing and stop worrying about time so much. I think we've gotten into this transition the last 5-6 years where we're so focused on time that it's like, oh, well, they're a little ahead or they're a little behind. And it's like, we got to get back to racing. That'll get an American back on the podium.
So, Des, when you figure it out on Sunday, and you win,
Love what you're doing here. Go on.
the big question is, what's your finish line celebration? Is it a Brooks shoey? Is it the worm, or something better?
I hadn't thought about the worm. How are the road conditions? Probably a shoey. It's got to be a shoey, right? The uppers on these new shoes, though, they just don't hold much.
Do you both cross-train? And if you do, what do you do? Do you do cycling, yoga, Pilates, napping, drinking?
Napping? Yes. When I was an elite athlete, I cross-trained a lot. I did a lot of running on like an Ultra G. I did a lot of elliptical. I did a ton of gym work just to help stay healthy. So, you know, I'd be running 120 miles a week, but I'd also be aqua jogging, ellipticaling, gym stuff, just because I knew I needed to do more because I want to win. Des is a runner through and through.
Huge believer in this stuff. So I've been feeling really strong the last couple of weeks. This is strange to me. So I've been feeling really strong. I was like, man, what have I been doing different? And I started this burpee challenge. I'm 100% right now. This has been going for, I don't know, I think it's like
a while.
45 days or something. I'm going to post something soon as I get a good video, not like a bad one. Form's still. So I've been doing these, and then I was thinking to myself after I was going to call my coach, I was like, I don't know, more people should prescribe this strength stuff because it's really making a difference. And I was going to call him, and I was like, you know what, he will hang up on me and never coach me again, so I didn't. But burpees.
I'm fascinated by the fact that doesn't do anything but run. Like, it blows my mind. Like, I used to do a long run and end in a pool and aqua jog for 30 minutes, and then while I was eating a sandwich, get body work, and then go do my stretching, and then nap, and then go back out for 20 minutes. And Des just runs. It blows my mind. I'm gonna get her in the gym.
No response.
What's happening?
Do you want to do one more question? Do we have any other questions?
Yeah, one
Last question.
Last question? Okay.
There we go. Make it a good one, no pressure.
The pressure of the last question. This piggybacks off of what you said in terms of wanting, like, we should race rather than just being fixated on time. Does you have your plan going into your race? When you find out who the other elites are, like who you're going to be running with, does that change your plan? Like, do you incorporate who you're running with into what you're going to be doing?
Remember, I haven't raced in a long time, but for me, it was more like I know how they run, right? So now I'm prepared for that. I know that if I'm racing Rita Jeptu, the last 5 miles are going to be insane. So I need to be in contact, and I still need to have something in my legs when that point happens. Or there's other runners. Kim Smith is probably going to go hard, and so it's going to be a grind fest from the beginning. Paula's probably going to control it. So I need to, like, she's not going to let anyone take the lead. So it's just more sort of like knowing what other people's strengths are and how they run. And you still have to know who you are. You have to know what your strengths are. But I do think it's good, especially when you're trying to run for a podium position, to kind of, it just gives you a little glimpse into what the day might look like. And anything can happen on race day, right? Like someone's having a bad day or they have a new strategy, but it gives you just like a little bit of an idea of what might unfold so that you're not caught off guard and you're ready for it.
Yeah, Kim Smith going out in like 1:11.
You're like, we're going out hard today. Okay. Kim Smith's in the race.
See ya. Yeah, I mean, I think it's the balance, right? Like that day, knowing Kim ran like that, knowing what the group was doing, knowing the weather, knowing yourself. Like in that 2011 race, I looked like I missed the start. It was like so far back at the 15K, but it's like, okay, I'm still putting myself into position to race when appropriate. So when you get to 20, then you turn it on. So it's managing both. Sometimes you respond to a competitor because you know that's their style, or you can let them go, but it's just having an idea, reading it, but then still running your own race.
I have a little follow-up. If you guys knew you were going against each other, what would be like, oh, I know she's going to do that?
I knew I had to be broken away from Des with 5 miles to go. And if I wasn't, bitch was going to get me. It was what it was.
But that's like the same thing I would say. Kara would sit, and kick. She's a kicker. Like in 2011, I wouldn't want you anywhere near me. So, same thing.
Yeah, but she just grinded with 10K to go. And it was like, man, if you haven't opened up a couple minutes on her, or at least like something that makes her look up and feel like a little bit defeated, you're screwed.
That's a great note to end on. I love that little confidence boost. I think we should just roll into a top 5. We have to do a top 5. We have to do an Olipop top 5.
Everybody.
If you have an Olipop, cheers. If you didn't try one, they have them in the back. They're great. There's some fiber in there, so don't overdo it. Just friendly
good for
reminder.
you. It's good for
top
you.
5. Okay.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah.
Okay.
So excited for this. The first on the list for me is The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I am binging that right now. Amazing. That when you talked about the Samantha costume, for some reason I was thinking it was one of these women from the show, and I was like, that's perfect.
Someone did go as them for Halloween.
I believe it. And they all look exactly the same. Like,
okay, if you haven't watched it, it is filth. I'm just owning it, but it's called The Secret Lives of Mormon The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. And I told Des about it thinking she'd be like, God, Carrie, you're so... And then instead I get this text, I'm obsessed.
So yeah.
And so I love that that's the top 5. And also when you watch it, don't judge us.
No, you know exactly what you're getting with that title. It's like, this is the new Emily in Paris. Way better than Emily in Paris.
Wait, better than Emily in Paris?
I think so.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not going to give it that much credit.
I heard the last season of Emily in Paris is really bad. So
It
I feel
was
like
not
that
great.
is like meh.
It's true. All right. Okay. Well, that's a good one. That caught me off guard. Good job. I'm going to give a shout out to the city of Pittsburgh.
Okay. Weird move.
I was there last weekend for the Croatian American Sports Hall of Fame because I'm half Croatian. Because my dad was an immigrant. Blah, 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 blah. But while I was there, Allie, organized a run, and all these people came out for it. And then this woman, Amy, came to the run, and then she bought a ticket and went to the induction. And I'm just shouting out the running community in Pittsburgh because it was awesome, and I felt really supported, and it was really fun.
That's cool. Speaking of support, I believe, did you guys pay for this podcast? Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. The good news is we didn't pocket it. We are giving it back to a charity. Brave Like Gabe, I believe, gets all the proceeds from this. So is Alicia here? Alicia from Brave Like Gabe. Thank you for arranging, coordinating, and we're super excited to be able to give those monies that way because it's a special cause, and love Gabe and all that charity stands for.
I feel like you had another one. Yeah, you wrote it in your book.
Yeah, that was the secret.
Oh, that's what it was?
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
you're so sneaky.
Yeah.
I was going to swoop in with number 5.
Do you want me to do another one first? Do
Yeah,
you have like
pick one.
a send it home one? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
It better not be stupid. Okay, I have one. Hold on. Give me a second. Okay, let's hear it.
I have a top 5. Hi, everyone. So, who's excited to have Brooks in New York? Did they ask for your shoe sizes when you walked in? Was that weird? Are you like, why do you want to know my shoe size? All right, Brooks has a pair of the brand new Adrenaline 24 for everybody who is here tonight. So, after you're done, please come over here. We have all of your sizes. So just let our wonderful team here know what your size is. We'll give you shoes, and I hope you enjoy them.
That's awesome.
That's so much better than Secret Lives.
Thanks for making us look good. My last one was going to be, as I always do, a cheesy one. Tess is already rolling her eyes. But thank you so much to everyone in this room for supporting us and giving us like a reason to be here, and for listening to the podcast and letting us keep doing this and talking and meeting you guys. It is so amazing and it's so awesome. We didn't even get to post that this was on and was already sold out. So like, we just appreciate you all so much. And just to you guys and to the marathon on Sunday, just thank you, and everybody whoop it up and have a good time.